Hey there, everybody. Hi, my name is Mashonda. On here and on all social media platforms, my name is Mashonda Shines. I'm a community builder, a triathlete, a race announcer, an event MC, and the host of the Try Beginner's Luck podcast. I spend a lot of my time telling stories, especially beginner stories, and creating space where people feel seen and reminding folks that they don't have to have it all figured out to start. Huh, yeah. I'm also deeply, I'm also someone who deeply is committed to following God, even when I don't fully understand where He is leading me, like doing this video. But I'm locked in and I want to share something with you today, especially on this beautiful Sunday, February 1, 2026. I hope this meets you where you are. And yeah, essentially, I want to talk about being stuck because today that happened to me. And so often, when we are following God, when we say we trust Him, when we try so hard to be obedient, we think that means life should get easier, cleaner, and more predictable. And in some cases, it does, ultimately. But when it doesn't, for me personally, I hit the resistance. I start to ask questions like, what did I do wrong? Did I miss something? Why am I here if I did what you told me to do and this happened? So if you see me looking over here to the side, that's because I have a little um, computer setup so that I can also make sure I'm hitting everything because, when you're doing something for the first time, you are a little bit more nervous, like I am right now. But you also know that it's an opportunity to just not have perfection, but progress. And so I'm keeping this here because this is where my notes are. So back to what I was saying, you're like, well, why am I here if I did what you told me to? And I want to insert here James 1. Uh, James 1, verse 2 through 4, where it says, consider it a pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work, so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. And if any of you lack wisdom, you should ask God, who gives it generously without finding fault, and it will be given unto you, no doubt. So, really, we should be saying, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful to be experiencing these challenges. But is that the case? Nah, I don't think so. And so, what if being stuck is not punishment? It's not failure. And what is it? What if it's an invitation? An invitation for God to send people to help you, an invitation to be reminded that you're not alone, and an invitation to see Him show up in ways you did not expect. I don't think about those things when the stuff is happening. I just need to be 100% clear that it's not where I'm thinking. And so today I had an opportunity to experience this in real time and became so full of emotion. And today was one of those days for me. I woke up with a plan. I knew exactly what I was going to do. That plan did not work out the way I intended. And let me tell you, the plan did not include going to church. It included watching church online. And so I woke up because I tried to be very thoughtful the day before about what my plans were going to be and how I was going to execute those plans. Because, make a plan, write the vision, make it plain. Those are the things. So that's what I thought I did. So anyway, I woke up with this plan and to get on my bike, ride my bike, do online church, and then kind of do whatever I needed to do around the house. Well, the bike was not happening in the morning. It still will happen because I'm going to get on my bike this evening. online church. I started it, but then felt so convicted. I cut off the TV and literally uh, got dressed like God said to do, showered, and headed off to church. And even then, things still felt a little off. I was slightly irritated and in my feelings because really I just wanted to be alone and wanting comfort on my terms. Hmm. You ever have that feeling where you just want comfort on your terms? Well, that's exactly what I wanted. And still, I went to church. Church was really good. It was very poignant. It hit the moment. We talked about love, First Corinthians. We also hit about on some things that are happening in the world today. And it was just such an important, I think, topic that we all should hear. So I was happy that I went in person because it was definitely what I needed to hear. And I think I also needed to see people. And so it worked out. But I went to church with the intentions that I knew after church I would go get a treat from this restaurant called Mammon. I know it sounds like a weird name, but anyway, they have really good food and I love them and it's my favorite place. And I went there and as I was going there, I said, Dad, I got this thought that I missed the moment to invite a friend. And so I invited him. And as soon as I invited him via text message, I was like, yeah, he's probably not going to show up because it's like the last minute thing. As I was looking for parking, I see him driving and I was like, oh, he showed up. Great. So I go find a parking space and y'all, guess what happened? I get stuck on ice. Yes, sugar honey iced tea. Yep, probably said the real word. Yes, fudge muffins on a ham, pork belly biscuit. You know what that probably stands for? I said that probably too. I was like, seriously, God, are you really telling me we're getting stuck here on ice when I felt like I heard what you told me to do to get out of this bed, get out of my house and go to church? Is this what we're doing on this fine Sunday? Take a deep breath, Miss Shonda. I didn't trip. I tried to get out. The ice was not budging. And I'm like, I got a truck, y'all. A whole truck. And so I watched people pass by. I watched these gentlemen kind of go past me. And then finally I saw this white truck. I didn't know who was in it, but I flagged them down. And I was like, excuse me, can you help me? He was like, what's your name? I told him, he's like, oh, I'm actually coming to dig somebody out, get somebody else out, but I'll circle back around and come and help you. Because let me tell you, I was getting a little bit stressed and was like, for real, is this happening? And when the gentleman pulled up to kind of come and help me, because it was my turn now, I was really grateful. Not one, but two people showed up. One person showed up in the back of his car. I saw his license plate that he was in Omega Phi Psi. And I was like, oh, who knew I was going to wear my shirt today? And it all worked out. So I was like, glad I wore the shirt that I wore. And his friend, his fraternity brother, also had this big truck and a Scooby. He's like, "Are you going or you coming?" I said, "Actually, I was trying to come here to meet somebody." And he's like, "Well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to dig out a parking space for you." Lips, hair, attitude changed instantly. Because then I was like, all right, God, not only did you send somebody to dig me out, but you sent somebody to create a space for me to actually move in. I actually didn't need the space after all because I was just like, you know what? You're about to park in a whole different place. But the fact that they offered, that meant everything to me. And it showed me that even though I was in my fields, I almost kirked 100% out. I only kirked out 85%, which is good. That's progress. I was just like, Lord, you be showing up. You be there. I was initially mad. I was a little bit embarrassed. And honestly, I wanted to go home. And I'm glad I didn't. because I would have missed the other blessings that would have happened the rest of the day. And so I am so grateful that God didn't only send one person, He sent two strangers who didn't have to stop but did. And it was a moment to remember that being stuck does not mean being abandoned. And later, um, as I went into the restaurant, I met my friend. We were sitting inside. I was thinking about the service and then just became overcome with so much emotion. Because when I gave my life to Jesus in the early 2000s, I didn't really understand what having a relationship with God meant. It was just like I knew I was accepting Jesus as my Lord and Savior because I didn't want to go to hell. That was the relationship that I had initially. And it wasn't until 2011 that I started to understand this thing called relationship with God. I just thought you needed the basics of being saved, being baptized, and that was it. I didn't really know that this was a walk with God. And so in 2011, understanding that relationship changed the course of my life. And I was just sitting there thinking about how many times have I been stuck? And I told myself that God was not there. And yet the whole time He was. How many times have I blamed myself instead of recognizing that this is just a part of the process? How many times have I stopped trusting God because people have hurt me or because life did not improve fast enough the way I wanted it to? And then it hit me and I realized that things don't necessarily have to happen on my time. And even though I feel like I am maturing in my walk with God, it doesn't mean I don't have those same thoughts and kind of go through those processes. And so I think today was a really reflective moment for me in that and reminding me that following God and following His obedience and doing what He says does not mean that I will not face obstacles. And that sometimes is a hard concept to get around. It doesn't mean that things will always make sense. It doesn't mean that obedience equals immediate comfort. It means that God is with us, with me, in the middle of it all. It means that even when I want to say all the things, I mean, like literally, I want to say all the things that I should not say, or that I don't get frustrated and tired and disappointed, it doesn't mean I can't keep going. And as a matter of fact, I am choosing to continue to keep going. I am choosing to continue to obey. I am choosing to keep trusting. And I'm choosing to keep my heart open because there's so many lessons in everything that we go through. And there's also so many provisions in the least and unexpected places. Whew, that's the thing, the provisions in the unexpected places that I sometimes grapple with because in my mind, I think it's supposed to happen a certain way. And that's human nature. I mean, I'm human, you know what I'm saying? And so there is grace even when the plans change. And sometimes what looks like delay or disruption is actually God just positioning us to see His love more clearly. So, if you're feeling stuck today or any day, just hear me. You aren't alone. You are not alone by any means. And God has not left you. Um, the moment isn't wasted. Keep going, keep trusting, keep following Him. And if this resonates with you, you're welcome to this space with me as I just share my reflections. I share the things that matter to me, and I just hope that they're blessing you because that's something that I love to do is just help others. All right, I've talked way longer than I anticipated. I only wanted to chat for like 10 minutes, and now this has turned into like 15 plus. So I hope you are giving me some grace. And just one, thank you for listening. I hope this encourages you, especially as we step into this new season together. This is my first Substack, and it won't be my last. I don't know what this looks like for me, but I do know I've been told to share and share more of my story. And so I'll be posting videos of like me talking to other people and just kind of sharing more about me and potentially maybe even creating a space where we can all just talk about some of the things that we're going through and being an inspiration and iron sharpening iron for each other. So thank you so, so much for being here with me. And I hope that um, we can do it again soon. My name is Mashonda, also known as Mashonda Shines, and I am excited to be on this journey with you. And I hope you give me a little grace as I get started and get going with you and having all my notes just to make sure I don't miss any key points that I want to say. Have a wonderful week on purpose. Thank you. Uh, and subscribe, join me, follow, and let's do this together. Let's build community together and let's show up well in 2026 together. Peace, y'all. I'm out.